Mary Kay Cabot, hello.
Hello, guys. How you doing?
We're doing okay. It's good to see you. William F. Buckley. That's who it was. Thank you. Oh, okay. All right, we can do that now. Mary Kay Cabot, she joins us on the fan hotline. Mary Kay, is there a power struggle in Berea right now?
You know what? I really don't think so. They collaborate on those decisions. I saw that people were trying to make it seem that Kevin had absolutely no idea that Joe Flacco was getting traded. I think when he talked about the surprise of Joe Flacco, the surprise was the fact that the Bengals picked up the phone and called them out of the blue. I really don't think it was a situation where Andrew Berry is in the building just blindsiding Kevin with decisions. Now, sometimes it does work out like that because these things happen very quickly. But I don't think this is a situation where Kevin is in the dark and Andrew is over there just making moves on his own.
Okay. Mary Kay, you have reported on a lot of locker rooms that might have been fine at the start of the year, but by the end of the year turn into a completely different animal. Does that have the potential here with one veteran like Newsome getting jettisoned, Flacco already gone, and who knows who could be next? Do you think there's any concern at all about this season and what could happen the rest of the way?
Well, what you have to do in a situation like this is that you really do have to talk to your leadership group. You have to talk to your veterans. You have to make sure that they understand what's going on. I did ask Denzel Ward yesterday if he believed that the Browns are still 100% committed to winning this season instead of just playing rookie ball now. And he said he 100% believes that. I don't know how this trade yet has impacted him because we haven't seen him since then. But I would have to think that once you start trading some of your longtime veterans, it can rattle some of your other players. So you have to communicate very effectively with them and make sure they understand what the game plan is and that they're still in a place where winning is paramount.
Do you believe Bailey Zappi will be the backup quarterback on Sunday?
It's a great question. I wrote a whole column about this yesterday, and I made a very strong case that I think he should be. And I just wrote that because that's how I feel, and I have no idea if Kevin's going to do that. In fact, they might absolutely 100% make Shedeur Sanders the backup for this football game. But I don't think they should for so many reasons that I outlined in this column. The first of which, and the most important reason I'm citing here, is the fact that Shedeur Sanders, I think, would be best served by heading into a football game with a game plan designed for his skill set. If he has to go in against the Pittsburgh Steelers, all they've practiced all week is a Dylan Gabriel scheme. He's more mobile. He's different. He's not as tough. There are just different traits these two guys have. You're not going to be calling, the RPOs and the bootlegs and the rollouts and the keepers and the design runs and different things that you will call for Dylan. Now, I'm making him sound like he's Lamar Jackson. He's not that, but he is definitely mobile enough, and that was his game in college, to zip around and make off-schedule plays at times and avoid sacks and do all those things. That is not Shedeur's game. They would have to devise a game plan that is going to maximize Shedeur's skill set. And one of his superpower, his number one superpower, is his elite accuracy. I see it even in the short amount of time that we are now allowed to watch practice. He is still showing off this uncanny elite accuracy. It's really something to behold. I see him do things that it's elite level accuracy is what I'm seeing out there. So he's got some amazing things that he can do as well. It's just not the Dylan things. And I think when he goes into a football game, he should have the supporting cast, the plays, and everything else designed to help him. So it's really not about him not being ready. It's about him not being game planned for this week. And why can Bailey do that, even though he's also a drop-back passer? Because Bailey's been around for 4 years. He would more easily be able to adapt to some of the things that Dylan's doing. He would play faster. He can pivot. He can be thrown into a situation. He has been thrown into situations before. He's also started 9 games, won 4 of them, including one in Pittsburgh when he was with the New England Patriots. So there are a lot of reasons that I'm citing that I think this should happen, but I believe this is how it should go.
Mary Kay, join us on the hotline. So it seemed as if the phrasing when the Joe Flacco news came down from Kevin Stefanski was, surprised. Obviously, he actually used that term. I know people use that to believe, is he even talking to his GM? Well, he's got, a team to coach, and he can't be making calls or fielding calls. But with that said, what kind of say after 6 years with the Browns does Kevin Stefanski have over decision-making? Does he have any say? Typically, coaches at around 6 years, they gain power in an organization. Does he have that power, or does he even want that power?
They collaborate on everything. Those two guys are in lockstep. They're in each other's ear and offices all the time. And here's the thing with the Joe Flacco trade. Was Andrew going to go to Kevin and say, hey, I won't do this if you don't want me to? I mean, what would be the benefit in keeping Joe Flacco around for the rest of this season when he is not going to play football for the Cleveland Browns anymore?
Is that because, Mary Kay, they're 1-4? Sorry to cut you off, but I just want to clarify. Is it because they're 1-4? If they were 3-1, would you ask that question? Or if they were 2-3?
If they were 3-1, he would never have been benched in the first place. Okay, so and maybe even if they were 2-3, he would not have been benched in the first place. But because he was benched, he provides almost no value for the Cleveland Browns for the rest of this season. They don't need him around as a babysitter or a mentor. They don't need that. That's not good use of their time or his time. So if you can get something, even though they didn't get very much, if you could get something and he has an opportunity to go and play, then why not do that? I can't see any reason why Kevin Stefanski, if given the opportunity, would have said, no, I don't want to do that. Let's keep Joe here. We really need him. It wasn't going to be about Joe for the rest of the season. He wasn't going to play unless there was some emergency type of situation. Now, he may have remained the backup for another few weeks or so, but at some point, it's going to get to the point where Shedeur is going to be the backup, and they probably are going to want to see what he can do on the football field. I don't know if that's going to be this week. I don't know if that's going to be next week. I have no idea when that will happen, but they probably will try to get some playing time for Shedeur this year.
Well, I love this conversation, Mary Kay, because we're not privy to that building. We always hear thought partners. You maintain, and you've done more reporting than anybody on this, that they are lockstep. But there does come a time where there's going to be more discussion on sacrificing, important players for the season for the betterment of the team long term. And if they're on lockstep, then Stefanski would probably be okay if they traded David Njoku, right? If that helped them long term rather than short term.
Well, they're balancing short term versus long term right now. They've got short term goals, long term goals, and those goals do change if it becomes apparent that you're out of the playoff hunt. But right now, the AFC North is so weird that you can't say that you're completely out of it yet. Anything can still happen. I know it's a long shot for the Browns to get back in it. I know it doesn't seem even remotely possible, but you never really know. You have to let this thing play out. So I don't think they're jettisoning players just for the sake of it. I think when you look at the Greg Newsome trade, they feel like they got a player of comparable value in terms of on-the-field skill set, and they are saving money over the next 3 years on what they would have had to pay Greg Newsome in an extension because he's going to get paid. He's having a really nice season. I think he's off to the best start of his career, actually. And he's going to get paid. He's probably going to get $20 million a year or more. And the Browns probably, they would have paid that. I think that they would have definitely extended Greg, and he would have been in line for that kind of money. But Campbell will average significantly less than that over the next 3 seasons. He's under contract through 2028.
Mary Kay Cabot joining us here on the show. So what other names could be on the move here?
Well, I do think that you might have to look at players that are in the final year of their contract, and if someone views them as a piece of their puzzle to get where they want to go for the rest of this year, those are the kinds of players that that might be in line for something like that, or that you might take phone calls on. And again, I know that David is in the last year of his contract, so I don't know. I'm sure teams might call about him. Not 100% sure. I know that at the beginning of the year, the Browns wanted to extend him, and he wanted to stay here and get extended, but so did Greg. So you never really know. I haven't heard anything yet about whether or not David would be somebody that they would be willing to part with, but they also haven't extended him yet. So, it's guys in that category that teams will call about. It's not that the Browns are shopping them, but guys in that category that a team thinks could help them this season, they'll call about those guys.
Mary Kay Cabot joining us here on the fan hotline. Go ahead, Tom.
All right, so as they're getting ready for a rivalry game in Pittsburgh this week, and they've got Dylan Gabriel there, do you think the offense opens up? Do you think they go as conservative as they did last week, where the throws beyond 10, 15 yards, few and far between?
Well, you have to stretch the defense somehow a little bit. You've got to get that box loosened up. You cannot have Quinshon Judkins trying to run through a stacked box every single time, because that is what happened in the fourth quarter of that game in London, and he wasn't able to make many yards. And so they have to find a way to get their passing game going. I think they need to get their tight ends involved more. They tried to get Harold Fannin involved in that game. He only ended up having 13 yards. That's not acceptable. Their 3 receivers combined for a total of 5 receptions. That's not going to cut it. So they now have to go back to the drawing board with Dylan. Now that they've seen him play in a game, they've seen him operate. Maybe they need to loosen it up for him a little bit. Give him some things that are a little bit less conservative. Trust him a little bit more. And maybe they'll also have more of Cam Robinson so they can feel a little bit more comfortable about what they have at tackle, and that will let them air it out a little bit more for him. I think they have to. I think they have to find a way to get the ball into the hands of their playmakers. They have to hope that those receivers will fare better with Dylan than they did with Joe. Jerry Jeudy's got to come around. We talked to him yesterday, and, he's just trying to keep doing the right thing and get himself back on track. So they have to get the passing game going if they want to keep the running game viable.
Mary Kay, thank you very much for the time. All the best to you and yours, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Mary Kay Cabot on the fan hotline.